Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and 82 years old and on my morning E-Trike ride. And I go this route every day, and I thought instead of starting at my house where there's a whole bunch of traffic, I would show you the whole bunch of traffic that they're trying to avoid. Dicking down the street here, there's construction down there. And this is the main drag, but if they don't want to wait in line, then they take a shortcut which goes to our house, or goes by our house, and here we got a guy going to go through the gate, which I want to go through. So I usually have to wait here for a while until somebody shows up to open the gate, and I sneak into this gated community. It's not bad because my grandson, has several friends that live in here, and we come and go out of there a lot. So anyway, this makes it nice and easy. It's kind of breezy out there, and I hope you can still hear me as I go along. It's breezy here, I should say. Anyway, so I'm going to catch up on a few things, and I want to let you see why there's so much traffic when I start out at our house, my son's house. They're trying to avoid this because there's a route they can take, which goes by our main street. Okay, so let's see. When I get all the problems solved with my E-Trike, and it is an electric E-Trike, XP E-Trike, and it's excellent. It's good. It's just me having my problems, mostly because of the hot summer temperatures here in Arizona. If you leave something sitting outside in the direct sunlight on a day when it's 100 or more degrees, that object is going to get up to over 200 degrees. I tell you a story. My grandson, he worked down here in Arizona for a while at a store, and he was a loss prevention guy. And so he was watching this one guy that looked like he was stealing stuff. And as the guy got ready to leave, of course, he waits till they step outside the door, and then he confronts him. Well, then, of course, the guy didn't want to be confronted, so then they start wrestling around, and they're on the ground, rolling around, and finally this guy, he pulls a knife on my grandson, and so that's the sign that my grandson just needs to let him steal whatever he wants to steal. Trouble is, the poor guy came to the store with flip-flops on, and in the process of wrestling, they came off. And so then when he ran away from the door and got out of the shade, my grandson said he was hopping and skipping and trying to keep from burning his feet. And so it didn't take the police long to catch him. But anyway, that's how hot it gets. Well, and if you've been following my channel, you know that I left this thing sitting out in the sun. Oh, I got to back up this story a little bit. When I first got my e-bikes 4 years ago, something like that, my son had plenty of room in his shop for me to park my e-bike. And so that's where I would park it at night and stuff. And then as time went by, his shop got full. Like he just recently installed, he's got so many things in there. He installed a tire, mounting device, big, huge machine type of thing. And he can mount tires on rims and dismount them and all that kind of stuff. And so, but that's what's going on. So there's no longer any room for me to put my bike or my trike in his shop. And so I've had to just leave it sit outside. I've got a cover for it, and once in a while when there's going to be a big heavy rainstorm, I know it's coming, then I'll cover it up. But normally it's not covered, so it just sits out in the sun. And so this display right here, I got it free from electric bikes because it was sitting in the sun. I went to go for a ride, and I'm sure it was over 200 degrees. And so it didn't hurt it until I turned the power on. And then everything died. And so I called them up on their technical service, and the lady didn't even let me finish because their electric bikes is also in Arizona, and she knew how hot it gets. And I was telling her my story, and she says, "Okay, I'm just going to send you a new display," which she did, and it got there a couple days later, and I had to buy one for my rad. Let's see, it was Rad Rover. When I had it, I had to buy one for it. It was $100. So that's pretty nice of electric to send that. And of course, if you've been following my channel, you know that this trike is my second one, because after I got over 1,000 miles on my first one, it had one of those rare things, which happens every once in a while, and it's not common, it's just a rare thing. And so it does kind of give them a bad name, because everybody thinks don't buy one, but I wouldn't buy anything that, except this electric XP trike. Anyway, the bearing went bad in his back wheel, and so I called them up, and I don't remember how it went. Anyway, and they said, we're going to send you a box, you can pack it up, send it back, and we'll give you a brand new one. And it cost me nothing, shipping, nothing. And so it was like a week and a half or so, and then I was back riding again on this trike. Okay, so so anyway, they're really a good company to deal with. The customer service makes more sales than anything else. So anyway, so normally you don't get to see me ride on this part, because I'm all through by the time I get this far along on my E-Trike ride. So that happened. And then I'll stop here and get across the street. I've already demonstrated this, but if you're new to my channel, a trike doesn't have a kickstand, so it can just roll. So what they've got is, you look right here, is they got that little thing there that you flip over, and it's not going to move because it's locked with the brakes on. Well, so what I did was, I thought, you know, just lock it every time you park. Well, then of course it set out in the sun again in really hot weather, and the hydraulic line from this reservoir down to the brake caliper, it had liquid in it, and liquid expands when it gets warm. And if I'd have left this brake off, it would have expanded back into this little reservoir that's up here at the top. But I didn't think about that. So it sat there, and then it kind of seeped through the seals down at the bottom. The only place that was open was where the brake caliper slides in and out of its little compartment to smash to tighten up against the disc down there. And so it I guess it must have broke the seals, because then I had to bleed the brakes a whole bunch of time. Well, so another late development in my life, it was a really hot day, and I was gonna bleed the brakes for the third time, because I was figuring out how to do it. And it was, I don't know, it was 100 degrees or more outside. And my son said, well, why don't you just do it in my shop? And I was going to make a video, by the way. So I've told this story, I know. So anyway, I did it in his shop, but it was too dark in there to make a good video. And I thought, that is really nice. And so I stopped and let all these people go. And I'm at a four-way stop here. And so that was really nice. And I got to looking. There was the way our front porch, that my son built our house. It's a little bungalow, and he put a nice front porch on it. And my wife has she has a lot of flowers that she grows and takes care of. And so she had those spread out all along that porch. So I you know, kind of asked her, kind of begged, Maybe she can move all the, or maybe the two of us thought of it. I don't remember how it went. Anyway, so she moved all of her plants down to the what would be the south end of the porch to make room for me to put my trike, to park my trike on the north end of that porch. Well, here let's see, I gotta go before this gate closes, or I can wait till another car comes. I think I'm gonna make it though. And so that gave me a place to park my trike in the shade all day long. And I'll put some pictures up. There's the flags. I'll put some pictures up so you can see what it's like. Anyway, go across here. So it can park in the shade all day long. Not only that, get across the road. There we go. Not only that, but I had a concrete floor to work over. That was a nice thing, because in my son's shop, I had a concrete floor, and if you drop a little part, a bolt or something, screw, you can see it, pick it up. Whereas all this time, for the past at least year, with my trike sitting outside, when I'd work on it, if I dropped something, if I could find it in the gravel, fine gravel, but if I could find it, then, that was good. Sometimes I couldn't find it for some reason. Of course, my eyesight, I went in yesterday for an eye exam, and my eyesight in my right eye, it's kind of deteriorating. I've got some cataracts in there. I used to drive a cataract, but it got sideswiped, so now I'm in a VW. I hope I'm not driving you away. Anyway, so when I dropped something on that little concrete floor of our porch, is right there, and I did. I worked on the brakes. I cleaned the brake pads yesterday and took it apart, and so it's really nice. It's a nice setup, and it sits in the shade 100% of the time. In the morning, we pull the blinds down. They're remotely operated with a little controller thing. And in the afternoon, we put them back up, and we can see out really well. And the sun's on the opposite, coming from the opposite side of the house. So anyway, I'm trying to think. There was something else I was going to say. That's the latest on that, and I know there was something else I wanted to talk about. Well, for one thing, I'm in pretty good health. I really am for my age. I'm 82, and the only thing is my legs are getting they're not like they used to be. I used to be really able to do all kinds of things. Anymore, I can't walk very far. Because my right knee is getting old, and it was in a motorcycle accident, and they said I'd never walk on it again, but I do walk on it. It's just as I get older, I can't, if I stand still for like 5 minutes, when I take my first step, it really hurts. So anyway, there's nothing they can do about that. My eyesight, I'm gonna get some new glasses for my eyes. Other than that, I'm in pretty good health, and glad to be 82 years old and able to get out and do things, because I got two hobbies. I got one hobby is riding my E-Trike, okay? And the other hobby is making YouTube videos. And that, if I can't ride my E-Trike and make YouTube videos, my wife says I'm getting hard to live with. No, she doesn't say that, but anyway. Okay, so I guess I've jabbered long enough to keep you updated on everything that's going on. I don't think I have my brakes completely fixed, and I may have to just replace the whole system. We'll see. They're working fine now, but I still think that leak is permanent, so that's probably going to be a problem. All right, so anyway, I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.